weapons today which can destroy all of us than there was during the Stone Age or the Bronze Age. Yes? So I think today we live, even with our education, with our knowledge, and with our consciousness, we are much more in danger of being extinguished than we were back then. But you see, this again comes down to, are we more intelligent now than back then? That to me is questionable. Because there are people who lived a long time ago, who built the pyramids, who are much knowledgeable. Today you need lots of scientists to basically make sense of how did they construct this huge pyramids without the cranes and without all the equipments and everything.
I would completely object to that. Just in the
Which
sense
part?
The consciousness in terms of historically. I understand where
I made the difference between consciousness and knowledge, Oscar.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And you were saying that we have nuclear weapons now that can extinguish us, us, yes? Back in the day we had the plague, and that wiped out a third of the European population, right? Now,
which was local.
Say that again?
Which was local, mostly.
Yeah, local.
The plagues were mostly local. The nuclear weapons can destroy the entire Earth. It can be a global catastrophe.
The argument is,
it can be a global catastrophe. Even if you drop one atomic bomb that some of these the Americans and the Russians have, it can annihilate almost all of our population. And for years we wouldn't be growing any plantation, any plants or any animals.
I was saying having more dangerous tools doesn't necessarily.
No, I'll just give you an example. I said about the evolution of consciousness that came into play. When you talk about evolution, yes, you got to be very careful. Evolving doesn't always mean, at least in this context of knowledge, to be good.
But if you look at the way that we live now, you said that maybe we might not be. Some people think that we've become more intelligent over the
well, I would actually dispute that. I would dispute that. In certain things, yes. In how things work, yes, we have become more intelligent.
The world we live in, surely,
yes,
is scientific miracle. The fact that you probably came here in a transport could go faster than you
absolutely,
could.
yes.
You use
absolutely.
electricity all the time.
Lots of scientific developments, but then there are many of the scientific developments which also can get us in danger. Like I told you about the nuclear.
What are we talking about? What's the code of argument? Because we're
all over the place. You're right.
All over the place here.
I believe we've evolved.
No, I think this gentleman here came with. Sorry, what was your argument?
I believe we're evolving.
No. When you say we evolved, in what have we evolved? We're still human. We're still human beings back then. We're still human beings today.
I think that
our knowledge. Look, our knowledge has grown certainly. We have lost some of the ancient knowledge as well. Yes? So it's not always just linear that knowledge is always being acquired. We are also losing some knowledge. Because there were many things in the past people that knew. Yes, we have lost the knowledge of that today. Yes? If it wasn't, for example, it wasn't for the Arabs who took this Greek learning and learning from India and translated into Arabic and then passed it on to the Europeans, previous to which they were in the Dark Ages, then that knowledge would have been lost as well. So we pass on knowledge from different places to make our lives better. That is the ultimate goal, to make it better, our existence. But it's not always the case. Sometimes we also do harm. For example, look, today, if you look at all these people who are suffering diseases, suffering ailments, it's from the food that we eat. The amount of chemicals, the amount of impurities that have been injected in the animals and the plants, and that is coming into our system, is harming the people around the world globally. Yes, the amount of cancer, the amount of other diseases, the amount of dementia, the amount of depression, the amount of stress that we see today. To be honest, if you talk about people who lived previously, they had much less of all this.
With respect, sir, you're making my argument.
See what I mean?
You're making my argument for me because there seems to be no rhyme or reason, and that's what would actually seem to suggest this is all a big accident.
I don't think it's an accident. I don't think it's an accident. If it was an accident, then you wouldn't see things in harmony. Like, for example, if the sun doesn't shine, the plants die. Yes, all these things coming into play at a particular time, and only on the planet Earth. Yes, when there are hundreds and thousands of other galaxies out there, they've been looking for aliens for I don't know how many centuries.
No, but it's very difficult. It's very likely we'll find
life
on other planets.
You heard of the fine-tuning argument? The fine-tuning argument, like for example, everything has some sort of an order. Everything, for example, yeah, there's a balance in the universe. There's only adequate gravity on Earth. It's not too much or too low. Others will be either floating or stuck to the ground. You see what I mean? For life to exist on this planet, everything seems to be finely balanced. To me, if everything of that nature was an accident, then I think that would be a belief
if we have an infinite number of universes,
Same
an
thing,
infinite
right?
number of...
We spoke about infinite regression earlier. I don't think you were there.
There'd be another
But that is
somewhere else.
illogical. From scientifically speaking, it wouldn't exist an eternal universe.
Guys, I'm
It
gonna say
wouldn't
it's been
exist.
nice. It's been nice.
Likewise, yeah.
I would work on the definition because
Yeah, I think we should
leaving
wrap it up because
leaving
it's
it
gone
open-
too
leaving it
long,
open just allows
and people
human
don't like to
escape.
look at videos that are too long. So I think we should wrap it up, inshallah.
Yeah, you wanted to ask me.
We should talk more about a different topic. Yeah.
What's your name, my friend?
William.
William. Nice meeting
to
you.
meet you.
Take care. Thank you, guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.